a big debate on WhatsApp and the latest malware that has impacted WhatsApp. In fact, when the Pegasus Snoopgate exploded, if you thought that only a select group of people ought to worry about spyware on their phones, think again. India's Computer Emergency Response Team, or CERT, has just asked WhatsApp users to update their app. The reason? They believe that their phones could have been hacked by a spyware which was embedded in a video file. How does it work? You receive a video message in an MP4 file. Now, malicious spyware is embedded or hidden in this message, one that you cannot see. When you play the video, the spyware gets installed in your phone. It can then access your camera, your contacts, your messages, everything. Now, WhatsApp has said, and I quote, that WhatsApp is constantly working to improve security. In this instance, there is no reason to believe that users were impacted. To be fair, the company also released a patch to counter this last month, which is why if you haven't already, you must upgrade to the latest version of WhatsApp. But news of this malware is coming on the heels of Pegasus, and that begs a question: is WhatsApp now the biggest threat to privacy? And in fact, before we go into the debate and speak to our panelists, there's some breaking news as well. The Maharashtra Cyber Cell has issued an advisory now for precaution regarding WhatsApp safety. That's the big story we are getting to you right now. This is warning coming from the Maharashtra Cyber Cell, no less. The advisory asks users to download the app only from the authentic app store. The advisory has also asked users to disable the auto download feature in the app. Now we'll tell you over the process of the discussion how you can do all of that, but let's go across to my colleague Sandhya, who's joining us now. Sandhya, this is an advisory issued by the Maharashtra Cyber Cell. What necessitated this advisory? What else does the advisory want users to do?
See, as far as this advisory is concerned, Kavita, this comes amidst all the news which is floating around as far as the safety of WhatsApp is concerned. Hacking of WhatsApp is something which has led to this particular advisory from Maharashtra Cyber Cell Department. And they have actually given a set of precautionary measures to the people, including that how, the users should download the latest version of WhatsApp, and it should be downloaded only from the authentic app store. Apart from that, auto download feature of the WhatsApp, which actually, enables, which actually results into auto downloading of any file, audio file or video, that should be switched off. And of course, the phone versions also should be updated, whether it's an Android, whether it's iOS version, all these versions should be updated.
So what you're telling us is it affects both Android and iOS users? Sandhya?
Yes, absolutely, Kavita. In fact, the advisory has also mentioned the iOS versions and Android versions to which the users should switch to. In fact, the business phones also, and people who use, WhatsApp via their computers also, Windows phones versions also, that has also been advised by Maharashtra Cyber Cell that what all versions can be used.
Right. Thank you very much, Sandhya, for that update. So there you go. The Maharashtra Cyber Cell as well has now issued an advisory asking you to upgrade the WhatsApp version you have and also safeguard yourself against such malware. Joining me now, Ritesh Bhatia, who is a cybersecurity expert, Brijesh Singh, IG Cybercrime Maharashtra, Rohit Srivastava, who is a cybersecurity expert as well. I will begin with Brijesh Singh. Brijesh Singh, what would now WhatsApp, of course, has come out and said that users have not been impacted. They have also released a patch to sort of safeguard users. But the Maharashtra Cyber Cell coming out and issuing an advisory. How seriously should we take this? How should we be worried right now?
First of all, it seems that this vulnerability was known to WhatsApp since the 5th month. For the last 6 months, and they have patched it. So the patch has been issued last month. We have issued an advisory so that anybody who is carrying an unpatched version, he is protected. He or she is protected. Now, if you are running a WhatsApp version on Android which says 2.19.274 or lower, or on the iOS it says 2.19.100. These versions, till these versions, WhatsApp is vulnerable. Also on Windows, also on WhatsApp for Enterprise, all these versions, all platforms of WhatsApp are vulnerable to this particular kind of vulnerability. It has been described in the Common Vulnerability Database, normally called as CVE. So CVE 2019 11931, that is a particular number of this vulnerability, and it says that the MP4 file does not contain the malicious code. It makes WhatsApp crash, and when it crashes, then two things can be done. When WhatsApp crashes, either a remote code can be executed, which can lead to compromise of your phone or your WhatsApp platform, or it can lead to a denial of service attack. So these are the two possible scenarios. We have issued an advisory to protect people against this. One more way in which people can protect themselves is by disabling auto download, because this kind of vulnerability operates only when the WhatsApp tries to read that particularly crafted MP4 file. So in past, if you feel that you are particularly vulnerable to any kind of this attack by hackers, then you should see if you have received some kind of an MP4 file from an unknown number. But as far as I know, WhatsApp says that this has not been exploited in the wild, and they have quietly patched it. So it seems that it has not been exploited till now. But it brings a major question here, that these platforms disclose to Indian citizens as and when they feel like it. If they follow all the US rules, then US has a compulsory reporting standard. They should also report to all Indian citizens and each Indian citizen who must have been potentially compromised. That doesn't seem to happen. Tanvi?
Right. In fact, you said very clearly that it makes WhatsApp crash. So, should we be worried if of late in the last few months, one among us, started playing a video and then WhatsApp crashed? Rajesh Singh?
No, it is. It happens. It happens surreptitiously. So it's something called a buffer overflow vulnerability. So it happens in the background, and it leads to execution of a remote code. So you probably may not know. Only if somebody is running a denial of service attack using that specially crafted MP4 file, then your WhatsApp would crash, and you would feel that your WhatsApp is restarting or hanging. But if somebody is just wanting to run an exploit or put some code into your WhatsApp or your phone, then you would never know about it. So it's dangerous, but I'm not sure whether this has actually been exploited in the wild. Tanvi?
Right. In fact, let me bring in Ritesh Bhatia here. And Ritesh, I have a very specific question for you. Let's start at the very beginning with the MP4 file. Now, a lot of people may not be familiar with technical terms like an MP4 file. We understand it's a video file. Is it the kind that you would get in, say, those good morning messages that are very happily with that Indians typically, very happily seem to be sending each other every day in the morning, the good morning, the good night messages?
Kavita, yes. I mean, partly yes, because some of them would send in through a GIF files. Those are like, animated files, very short animated files that keep repeating. And there could be some video files. Like, for example, all these modern day phones, when you shoot by default, let's say, you have a birthday party and the kid is cutting a cake, when you're taking that, so that turns into an MP4 format. So you would want to distribute that. So that is for the viewers, simply that is the video file. Now many times I yes, WhatsApp has said that they haven't found any users, or something, they feel that this has not been exploited as such or misused. But the thing is, rightly, like Brijesh sir said, it's been there for almost 5 months, and this quite a chance that this vulnerability was known to some other hackers also, and they could have used this particular vulnerability to to create malicious MP4 files and just send it across to certain people, Kavita.
Right. But that's where the question comes. And Rohit Srivastava, if you could tell us, how would you know? How would I know if my phone has been compromised, for instance?
So now there are two different kinds of attack when it comes to such malicious files. One, the attacker just want to disrupt your phone and copy some data or install a malicious file. There you could actually, you may see one or two unknown applications on your phone or running in the background. But if it is a skilled attacker, you would actually not see anything and you would not realize that the phone is infected and there's something going wrong in the device and somebody is looking at all your content and stuff.
Right, so, so you've got me very, very scared over here. You're telling me essentially that your phone could be hacked and you would never even know that it was hacked
You
if it
won't
is a
even know.
skilled hacker who's using it.
Correct.
So which,
And the skill is becoming even more easier today because then there are point and click tools by which you can create a video file and embed a spyware inside it and send it to the. So there are very easy tools nowadays available to make such custom videos. So which can be actually scary in this case.
right, but here's my question, Brijesh Singh. Now WhatsApp has introduced an update and they've asked people to upgrade to that update. If we do that, does it mean that we are secure at least for now till the next malware comes?
So about the malwares, there's a funny thing. There is something called a 0 day. The 0 day thing is not known to the platform, not known to anybody, but it may be known to the hackers. So even this vulnerability, till it was put on the CVE, it was not known to anybody. So the problem is that there may be, if not tens, probably hundreds of vulnerabilities on platforms, on operating systems, on apps, and not just WhatsApp. It can be any of those hundreds of apps which you use where these flaws are present. These are software flaws which people know. And these 0 days are sold for a particular price in also the darknet and also, to certain malicious actors. And they are quite a commodity all around the world. So malicious actors do engage in a market of these flaws and vulnerabilities and develop exploits around them. Now, the only way to protect yourself against this is that as soon as you get an upgrade, please upgrade your phone, please upgrade your operating system. I know it's a constant effort because every day there's a patch coming up. But if you go into the details of the patches, you will come to know what all has been patched. So it's a serious thing. Please keep your phones upgraded at the moment the upgrade is available.
Right. At the moment, an upgrade is available, but what you're telling me is becoming scarier and scarier. So, Ritesh, take us through what, now we know what can be compromised. The hacker can get access to your phone, to your camera, to your contacts. What does that mean? What happens? Because my phone nowadays is not just a phone. My phone is a treasure trove of information. A lot of us have banking apps on the phone. We use payment apps on the phone. We have photographs of our children, God forbid, on our phone. There is such a lot of things. It's not just contacts anymore.
Yeah, so Kavita, let me tell you, now these spywares or stalkerwares, they're actually quite common also. They're just available, like, you can just buy them offline, just look for certain spywares and you will get a load of them. Now, let me tell you what all these can do. They can switch on your camera remotely, even without your knowledge as such. They can take a picture of you from the front camera, from the back camera. They can send a command, okay, what kind of, to know where exactly you are, your location, what kind of surrounding sound is there. They can record, they can hear the conversations between two people also. Each and every WhatsApp incoming message, outgoing message, even the text messages, they can see that also. All your emails, whatever, like SMSs you get. Now we get our OTP also through SMSs. You can read those also. So it's basically just a clone of your original phone. So this is all, I mean, there's lots, whatever you can do with your phone over here, the same thing the hacker can do over there remotely. He can like kind of delete your apps also. He can just completely uninstall everything. He can format your phone also. And most of us nowadays, if you would see,
So,
recently we did some kind of a research, most of the people save their ATM pins or their credit card pins even in their contact book.
Right.
Many of them have their credit cards, like on a picture of the credit card at the front and the back in their image gallery. So it's becoming very easy. All the
Very easy.
information is on the phone. Nothing is in the brain left anymore.
Precisely. So
Yes, Kavita.
we are completely running out of time. But here's what we have gathered from our experts over here. You can't, from the looks of it at least, safeguard yourself completely. Make your phone completely foolproof to a hacker. What you can do are some basics. One is every time your phone gives you sends you a prompt about an upgrade, ensure that you stop everything else and upgrade your phone. It is essential. That's the only way you can ensure that whatever bugs are there, they are fixed and your phone, at least for some time, is safe. The other thing that you must do if you use WhatsApp, and a lot of us do it, then you should disable the auto download feature. There is also a setting by which you can control whether or not you're added to certain groups. Go and ensure that you enable it. Enable so that you are asked before you get added to a particular group. And the other thing, the very important thing that you must do is go pick up your phone tonight and delete any financial information that you would have stored on your phone. This includes your ATM PIN, your passwords, all of which is very, very essential to you. Anything that is private to you, ensure that you erase it from your phone. With that, we will wind up over here, but of course, we will keep bringing you updates on these and other stories and on anything that could affect the security of your data. But with that, it's time to say good night. Thank you for watching.